everybody, and a very warm welcome to Virtual Sim League's Tier 1 round number 8 today, as we're back in the F1 cars for the Baku City Circuit, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. We expect chaos tonight, but hopefully the drivers will race cleanly, and we're very excited for this one. My name is Jess Ball once again, but joining me once more after a couple of weeks filling in for the Tier 2 tier, it is Mike. Mike, how you doing?
I am doing fantastic, and yeah, as you mentioned, I have missed everyone in Tier 1. Unfortunately, I had to step in and help out in Tier 2, but it was a fun couple of races in Tier 2, but I'm excited now to get back into Tier 1 action.
Yes, exactly, and we saw Yarham got the most points last week in the F2 sprint race, 25 points to his name as well. Other drivers that have done well last time out was Twisted, who's now in the half, and then we got Casper, who got 21 points in the overall weekend as well. There were certain drivers did do quite well, but still managed to get some decent points. So everybody that did take part last week managed to get some decent points. Glock leads the overall championship on 112 points, with Andreas on 105, but he's quit the league. Casper then that promotes Casper in second, then it's Yarham, Mata and Tony. But the second championship we got to worry about is Casper that's leading that one, and Mata a joint second with Enzo. No Enzo tonight, I don't think. No, we don't have Enzo tonight. But we do have the likes of obviously Glock, Yarham and Flexi ready to nip at Casper's heels in at the mini championship. There's 3 in total. Glock won the first one. Casper's looking favourite to win the second one, but it is quite close.
Yeah, absolutely, and Casper doing very well, of course, last time out, picking up 21 points for himself. I believe Casper has actually just started a lap here at the Azerbaijan circuit, coming through turn 1 right now. Of course, a very difficult circuit, this one, Jess. I mean, plenty of opportunities to put in the wall, especially at that infamous castle section. What do you think of this as a circuit?
Well, I think the castle section especially, it's really narrow, very tight turn, it's blind as well, which is why a few people could get caught out there as well. It's easy to lose control as well. And then of course we've got turn 8 as well. It's a very fast left-hander, and turn 15 into turn 16, it's if you brake just a little bit later, you're gonna miss the apex and hit the wall. So those are the two things that I think they will find tricky. So this is the kind of pass the difficult part of the circuit, the castle section. Let's see how Casper manages it. He manages it all right. I find it a lot easier, the castle section, compared to previous games. But I have spoken to some drivers, and they're not liking Baku. There's less grip, I found, on F123 around Baku compared to previous games. So I think they just got to be more aware. And I think the driver numbers, tell the story that some people may not like Baku, which is a bit of a shame, but there's quite a few people on holiday, which is understandable. But anyway, Casper heading towards turn 18 and 19 now, and heading towards the long straight of turn 20, back on the power once again, and one of the longest straights on the F1 calendar. The circuit length 6.003 kilometres, 3.730 miles. Race distance 156.078 kilometres, and Casper sets the first time on the board at 140.819. Flexi, by the way, did get a quali ban after careless driving when he made contact with Glock. He lost control and made a dangerous rejoin. So that is why Flexi has got a quali ban. And we got David that had an official warning from last week. Those were the only 2 incidents that got taken off as well. Not sure what happened to Kieran and Shallow, though. I'm not sure they retired on track. I don't think they've got quali bans. So I think that's them out of the session completely.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate for the pair of them, because around here you really want to be towards the front and not caught up in the middle of the pack, especially going into the first 2 corners, because that's where you see a lot of early incidents happen.
Yes, Mata is heading towards turn 16 now as well. Leads to the final straight. You need to carry as much speed as possible throughout that corner. He's purple at the moment. So will he stay purple as he comes towards 18 and 19, and now heading in towards turn 20. Careful not to run right here or clip the inside barrier as he's going full power here. You lose a lot, you pretty much lose a lot of VRS here. You get about 10% left to use on your final lap, unless you go 0 at any point. which is potentially around turn 4. But Matt comes across the line into P2. We've got Igor Blocks, who is here reserving tonight. He's just came across the line. I think he must have binned it somewhere. So that is
installation lap.
Installation lap. Okay.
Yeah. And interesting, just going around doing an installation lap first, because obviously, as you mentioned, grip around this track is a lot less than what it has been on previous games. I kind of enjoy that because she just clips the inside wall at turn 3. But yeah, in terms of like the grip around you, doing an installation lap, then going for your flying lap, I think might be beneficial for a lot of guys out there.
Yeah, I think for quite a lot of tracks that have less grip, installation laps could work. And if they know the tyre warm-up strategies as well, then they could use their first lap as proper tyre warm-up too, just to get the tyres into a little heat cycle. And softs could last a bit longer than previous tracks as well, so that is good. As Pete has retired from the circuit, he has binned it on the he's binned it, I think, at the exit of the castle section in towards turn 13, it looks like. So that is his qualifying done, and I think he's going to be sung at the back, it looks like, because of his driver number. But let's watch the AlphaTauri then, heading towards turn 16. His installation lap is definitely helping, so you might be right, Mike, that he's definitely loving life in that car as he breaks through that straight as well. Most important thing around here is if you time it right, you can get a tow from another driver. And if you are that driver in front, you don't want to give that tow to someone by mistake. Diggle Block comes up to the line. It's going to be a 141.596, puts him into P3, Mike.
Yeah, I think lost a bit of time in turn 3, as I mentioned earlier on. Did tap the inside wall a bit. And the car did have a little bit of a wiggle on the first sector. So there's definitely more time there for Eagle Blocks. And, over 10 minutes to go in the session, there's definitely going to be interesting dynamics going up there. I mean, I was on board with Speed Garth, who's coming back into the pits now, because he, unfortunately, on the entry in towards the castle section, so coming into turn 7, locked up and went straight on into the wall there. And that's another key area that people generally, we see a lot of moves into turn 7 just before the castle section, and that's where a lot of front wings and wheels falling off can happen.
That was one of my retirements in my league racing career as well, was just before the castle section. I wasn't happy with my driving at the end of the day. By the way, Kieran actually disconnected and he retired his car, so that was why he joined. And it was Speed Knighton the one who hit the wall, because Gav just rejoined the session. So yeah, again, Knighton won't take any further part. Jinx is back, by the way, after a season off, so good to have him back in the league. And he's put his laps to good use, a 141.257, but still some lap time to improve there. So it's just Ewan and Yarham on outlaps. Don't forget Yarham, last week's race winner. Kai is sitting in the standings, pretty much 5th in the regional standings, but in the overall standings, he's currently sitting in 4th. So, as well as Casper, looking the one that's the most consistent for the time being, and he's looking to get another win at the moment. Maybe he's getting a little bit used to the game as well in that Williams car. I do hope they bring that Golf livery on the game, please. That will be amazing. They brought the Ferrari one to the game, the Monza one. If they bring the Singapore one, it'll be great because it looks really good. I think it was a fan who designed it or something like that, so I really do hope they bring it. But Yarham is about to start his lap, and we've got a few more people starting their laps as well.
Yeah, Yarham, DRS wide open, running down in towards turn 1. It's almost like a motorway running down into turn 1 with how long that straight is. But Yarham gets through turn 1. Pretty calm, cool and collected. Obviously through turn 2 going now. DRS wide open on the run down in towards turn number 3. Now, the one thing that has changed from my understanding from the last game onto this game is how much smaller those brake marker boards are, and it's going to be very difficult for those that do run without a racing line to pick up their braking points.
And there's a bit of asphalt that was laid in real life between turn 13 and 16. There is a new curved concrete wall in real life as well. I'm not sure if it's like that on the game. Probably not. But I know they've updated Baku just a little bit. I know they definitely updated the likes of obviously Jeddah, Zandvoort as well. Yarham is struggling on his lap, so I'm guessing he needs to pretty much find some grip, or maybe this could be an installation lap, as you were saying earlier. So I think if I was him, I would have bought this one and then start again, because he's really, I think, losing some time on his lap, especially in Sector 2. We've got Ewan on a lap at the moment. Nope, he's not. He's on an installation lap. He's backed off then, so... because he was in third gear, where he should have been in like fourth or fifth leading up to that. There's still a tyre, by the way, on the back straight there, in towards turn 3 and 4, so that was kind of interesting. Tony's on an out lap as well. Let's watch Yarham again. Well, he's going to get a lap time on the board, but it may not be a good one. It's going to be 1:41.6. I think it could have been pole without that slide in Sector 2.
Yeah, Sector 2 definitely the key area for improvement if you are Yarham. And of course, Sector 2 is where you can gain the most amount of time as well. So I think for a lot of the drivers so far, I mean, Sector 2 is where they're going to find all their time.
Yeah, if you get Sector 2 right, then you're probably pretty much more confident that you're going to get the rest of the lap nailed as well. And obviously, we've seen quite a lot of red flags in the Sector 2 range. And obviously, there's no red flags here, but if you got caught in a red flag in real life and you're on a hot lap, you're pretty much screwed, because that will pretty much be your qualifying over. But Ewan is going to about to start another one as well. So who will be next crossing line? I believe it will be Gareth or Tony. No, it is Gareth. It is Gareth. So Gareth's heading towards turn 16 as well. We'll see what his sector split was in Sector 2, 118.8. I think that would put him mid-pack so far in comparison to everybody else, but there was about 4 drivers that did not set laps. So, yes, obviously one driver with a qualifying ban. So, Gareth looking to improve from last week. He DNF'd last week in the feature race, and it's going to be a 1:43.2. So that was his lap time. So next to cross the line will be Tony.
Tony is on an absolute flyer. He done a 16.3 in the middle sector. This could be there challenging Casper for provisional pole position as he crosses the line now. And it is provisional pole by 4 tenths nearly.
4 tenths is the gap between Tony and ERT Casper. And then Gluck this displaces everybody again by another tenth of 1:40.395. So a Mercedes 1-2. And in the constructor standings, it is Mercedes, I believe, that have got the second highest points. The ones with the highest points overall is McLaren on 76 points. So that is overall. And 143 points Mercedes got in the first Middle East and Asia Pacific Trophy event. But it was McLaren that basically pretty much tied on points with Red Bull, because we saw Mata have a really good result last time out as well, which kind of helped them a little bit as well. Where's Jinx? He's heading towards the first sector. Ickelblocks is going into the pit lane. So let's just watch Jinx now. Has got a few wins to his name in VSL history. Looking to add to another one at the moment. He needs to find a lot of time. He needs to find a second to get on pole position. But bearing in mind, we have got quite a bit of the session still to go. He could be out of sync of everybody though, so I wonder if he's going to dive it back into the pits, Mike.
Potentially, and he is definitely going to dive it back in now that he's invalidated his run on the exit of the castle section through turn 12. Yeah, I mean, obviously we saw a fair few drivers retiring early on in qualifying, obviously 4 in total. Ewan yet to get a lap time on the board, and this is big pressure for big boy Ewan now.
Yes, it is. Only drive out the ones that are still running to not get a valid lap in. And I can speak from experience. It is hard for me to get a validated lap around here, because obviously you've got to use all the apex as well. You've got to be so confident on the traction as well around it. And you've got to use your ERS effectively as well. If I was him, if he doesn't get top 5, that will be, I think, a learning curve for him, I think, as well. He did, I think, only get He got 12 points last week in the F2 weekend. Of course, we had the sprint and the feature, as Ewan is going to start his run then again, going to be out of sync. But you never know, he could do one installation lap now and then do a flying lap at the end. That's what probably I would do anyway. Everyone else is on out laps. We've got Casper, Ickelblocks, we've got Mata, Yarham, Leroy, and Gav. We've got the 2 Alpine. Oh no, it's not Gav. Gav's doing the pits. I thought he was on his out lap, but I think I must have been just misreading the timings a little bit. So we have got 4 drivers who haven't come out the pits yet, but they're probably just going to leave it there and save their tyres for the main event. And I got a question, Mike. How many safety cars do you think we will get to tonight? I'm predicting 3.
I would like to echo that sentiment. I think 3, maybe a VSC, and potentially 2 VSCs plus 3 safety cars is my opinion on this track.
Yeah, let us know your predictions in the chat, guys, on how many safety cars you think we'll get. And if you're watching this back, pause the video, write down how many safety cars do you think we will get. No cheating, no scrolling forward to find out what was going on later on in the race. Just tell us how many safety cars you think we'll get. And if you get it right, then well done, you get a brownie. Joking, I don't have brownies in my house, so I won't be able to give it to you. And if you live on the other side of the world, then it's not going to happen either. But anyway, Leroy, one of the first drivers to set a lap time, same with Casper as well, our Formula Euro Open Championship leader as he heads towards Sector 4. And Ewan as well. Oh, as Ewan comes across the line, P5. So that was a big improvement, but he's still saying he's on 0 laps on the soft tyres, which is quite weird. But anyway, Casper through Sector 1, he's found 2 temps in that first sector. Not enough for pole. Recently, though, got signed to ERT, and I've been speaking to him in DMs recently, and he feels quite happy there. He feels quite welcome. There's a lot of nice drivers in the team as well, and I think he feels like a different person. He's motivated to get some good results for the team.
Yeah, of course, as you mentioned, now in ERT, formerly in RDR, which was of course my team that unfortunately had to be closed down. But of course, ERT, a fantastic team to join, and definitely one that will help him improve. 2 temps up in the middle sector, and yeah, Casper, definitely a driver that has a lot of potential to improve even further, especially with ERT now supporting him.
Yes, what has happened to Yarham? I think Yarham has retired, but let's watch Casper as he's the first driver to cross the line. Glock and Tony can't improve, but can Casper get pole? The answer to that is nope, it's not. 140.6. I think he was only improving by 2 temps anyway. So it was to be expected. Ewan is down on his lap time. So I think he's going to dive it into the pits. I think so. Next across the line will be Mata. So he heads towards turn 15. Oh, he grazes the wall ever so slightly.
Ickelblocks 1.3 seconds up in the middle sector.
Wow, that will put him 5.43. That will put him on provisional pole position. If he could keep that time up in the start-finish straight then. Full power on his throttle, 8th gear as well. 4 ERS, it's going to be pole. Yes, it is. 140.312. Can anyone beat that? Well, it looks like Gav won't beat that. He's hit the wall. Mata could only manage 5th. What would have been if he didn't hit the wall there? I don't know. Jinx, he's heading towards the line. He's 9 tenths up in the middle sector. He could be a challenge for pole position. He now goes full power to the line, and we'll see if he could be front row or pole position. Is it going to be enough? Oh, 140.450, but he invalidated, I believe. So, it is Ickelblocks on his first race in the league, and he gets pole. What a way to do it.
Yeah, Ickelblocks, an absolutely fantastic driver over previous games as well, and thoroughly one that's going to be testing these guys out here.
Yeah, he's a driver that I know very well, not just as a driver, but he's also a good commentator as well. He doesn't commentate much anymore, but he's good at both, which is something that cannot not be said for me. I wish I could be good at both, but yeah, he's one of those commentators. There's also a good racer as well. So, he's on pole with Glot in second, Tony in third, then we got Casper, Mata, Jinx, Ewan, Yarham, Leroy, Gareth, Kieran, Shadow, Flexi and Knight. And don't forget Flexi had that quali ban, and only 10 drivers have set a valid lap time. Hopefully that doesn't mean we'll have 4 drivers retiring from the Grand Prix. Hopefully we'll have no drivers retiring from the Grand Prix, but anything can happen in Formula 1, and it usually does. But most of the time, pole has been translated to the race win, but not all the time in this division. And luckily no illegal blocking penalties. So for the first time in a while, actually, we can actually have a clean lobby. We could get started straight away as well, which is always very exciting. I'm not used to this.
Yeah, I mean, definitely fantastic to see everyone respecting each other and obviously staying out of the way. No unfortunate 5-place grid drop penalties harshly applied, and yeah, we can get straight into it. No waiting around, no having to reload your setups and everything, where you could end up forgetting and be completely done over for the race. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the tyre strategies around here as well, because see, the softs around here, I don't think they're as good as what they used to be. I think they've gone a bit worse around here recently.
I have to agree with you as well, especially in places like Qatar. They say they last longer, but in terms of optimum pace, they don't. And I'm just looking at the data I've got for the tyre. It's meant to last 12 laps, but for most of the lap, you pretty much have 6.2% of wear per lap on the soft compounded tyres. That is absolutely huge. And once I found out about that when I was doing, I think, a bit of time trial and also a bit of Grand Prix mode, that was absolutely crazy as well, compared to obviously mediums, which is about 3%. Same with the hard tyres as well. And the mediums will be quicker tyres almost straight away around this circuit. So I don't think we'll see many people on the soft tyres at all, I think, in this Grand Prix at the start. Maybe towards the end, if we get a late safety car towards the end. But at the start, I don't think so. I don't think it's the optimal race pace. So I think we could see medium hard or hard medium. But if someone is brave and wants to go on the softs, fair enough. It will get to a puncher territory around about lap 12 anyway. So they can make it. But you've got to be starting high in order to do so. You've got to be qualifying like first or second to do so. So if we want to do that, then that could be very, very interesting indeed. But yeah, I think either mediums to hards, hards to mediums, but I think we can see some brave people going on the soft compounded tyres as well. It will be interesting. I don't think we have any threat of rain. I actually forgot to ask the drivers what the weather is. So I do apologise about that. But it is known to rain around the Baku City Circus. First season Formula 1, believe it or not, in 2016 as the European Grand Prix. And in 2017, we saw the biggest upset of the season. Daniel Ricciardo winning out from Valtteri Bottas, and Lance Stroll in the Williams getting his first podium. And it was the famous argy barge with Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel that year, which was, I think, a bit chaotic. Luckily, they're good friends now, but back then, maybe not.
Yeah, definitely. Also around here, we saw the collapse of the partnership between Daniel Ricciardo and Verstappen around here as well.
Yes.
Running down at turn 1 where they rear-ended each other. But going on to the formation lap now, so we get to see the tyre compound that everyone has opted for, and an interesting mix of strategies from what I'm seeing.
Yes, let's go through your tyre compound strategies. So we have got our leader. He's on the hards. I thought usually the leaders will start on the mediums, but he's going for something different, which I always like difference in a strategy. So good on him. We got Glock on the mediums. Tony wants to get away very quickly. He's on the softs. We got Casper on the mediums. Matt on the hards. We got Jinx on the mediums. Ewan on the mediums. Yarham on the hards. Leroy on the mediums. So is Gareth. Kieran on the softs. I was expecting him to go on the softs, to be honest, because he qualified so far down, and the annoying thing is if he disconnects, then it retires within the session, so that's odd. Then we've got Shadow, Flexi and Speedy Knighton on the medium tyres. interesting call for some drivers, but I'm liking the mixture. I thought personally, Mike, more people would have gone on the hards.
Yeah, I didn't think we'd see the soft tyres at all. I thought we'd see like the top 5 maybe opting for the mediums early on to try and get away from the pack, and then everyone else on a set of hards going deep. But yeah, an interesting split in the strategies here. And one thing I wanted to bring up as like a possibility to keep an eye out for is the fuel consumption around here, because obviously we've seen it at Qatar where the fuel is absolutely abysmal. You use so much fuel, and around a track like this, you would think that maybe this track would also lean towards a heavy fuel load, so maybe a couple of these guys over fueling their cars by a decent amount.
That is a good point, because there's a lot of long straights here as well, a lot of heavy braking zones where you do gain a lot of fuel and sometimes lose a lot as well. I was trying to say burn, not gain. There we go. Burn a lot of fuel. But yeah, Qatar, definitely, you would lose a lot. But we were at Qatar this season. It was round number 4 as well, which was quite entertaining, to say the least, as well. I always like Qatar. Don't have a Qatar race in quite a while, actually, to commentate on, which is quite sad. But hopefully I'll get to do one soon. Maybe in other leagues. But we are waiting for all 14 drivers to make their way on to the grid. And if you are liking the action, by the way, make sure you leave us a like, hit that subscribe button. 193 subscribers. It will be amazing if we can get to 200 by the end of tonight. That will be amazing. And also hit that bell. Also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at VSL_F1. And also follow us on our new rally account, VSL_rally. We are starting a new rally season in November 2023, so not that long to wait yet. But more details about that at the end of the stream. 5 red lights coming up on your screen now. Hopefully no delays. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and it's a rubbish camera, so I'm going to go on the onboard shot. And we are underway. And look at Glock. He's gone on mighty start compared to Nickel Blocks as he makes his way towards turn 1. What about everybody else? It looks like Ewan has got a good start as well. They all make turn 1 clearly. Turn 2 and 3 is going to be the tricky part, I would say, because it's quite narrow, but looks like they got away unscathed. As Jinx, by the way, has got past Ewan. We could see a lot of slipstream fest as we head towards turn number 4. But yeah, I'm quite surprised. Very, very clean.
Yeah, and that's what we like to see. A nice clean start between the drivers coming through turns 1 and 2. Obviously respecting each other, giving each other the space. As Gareth has gone off into the exit road and being reset on the track. So Gareth, as evident it was in qualifying, struggling here around this track.
Yeah, it's a shame. It looked like he was struggling in qualifying, to be fair, but for this track, it is a race of attrition, so if he does finish this race, you're more than likely going to be scoring well anyway. I think most Baku races I've ever commentated on in these type of leagues, it's all about that. In PSGL, though, in the top tier, more people surprisingly finished, which I think shows that they put a lot more practice in as well, but there are some drivers that do. But I think a lot of drivers hate it. At the beginning of the game cycle, I think we could see a few more retirements. But Glock having a nice start he needed. I think Nickel Blocks, him going on the hard tyres, probably not the best decisions for the AlphaTauri driver. Tony, by the way, could get a nice tow from him at the moment, but doesn't look like it at the moment. As the timings are messed up on my screen, so I can't tell who's going to go for a move and who's not. But Nickel Blocks almost made a mistake there, but he managed to stay ahead. Yarhan, by the way, side by side with Kieran into turn 1, gets the job done. Very nice.
Kieran's around.
Kieran's round and spun. What happened there? He lost a bit of grip.
He had a little bit of a bump on the exit of turn 1 on the wall, and that just sent him completely around. And I think damage on our Ferrari now.
Yeah, I think that could be in-play damage, but we will see later on as well. But it's going to be into the back anyway as Jinx goes down the inside of Mata into the back straight of turn 3 towards turn 4. He nails... Oh, that was almost a bit of a Tokyo drift from Jinx. I think it just shows the commitment they have to do in these cars. It's not easier at all, turn 4 and 5 on this game. It's a really hard complex. And even though I said the castle section is quite tricky, for me, I find that easier because I put a bit more practice into that corner. But other people may beg to differ currently at the moment. But positions gained then, according to the game, as I disable telemetry, Flexi has gained the most, 2 places, as well as Speed Knighton on 4. Yellow flag. Now that is in the middle. That's Ewan. That's Ewan that's had enough. So, oh, don't go backwards, Ewan. That's an unsafe rejoin. You don't want that. Luckily, he just avoided gap, but Shadow is coming up as well. Here comes Tony. Side by side with Iggleblots. Casper as well could look to overtake both of them. DRS will be activated next lap. Casper's right on the middle of this. Let's see if he can make meat of this. No, he does not. Tony, though, is...
Oh, he's at the wall on the exit, Casper.
Oh, no, Casper's lost a bit of time there. And that's allowed Iggleblots to maintain the P3 there.
Honestly, we're seeing a lot of the brakes not really coming into good effect for these drivers. They're going a bit deep into these corners and it's just causing little niggles with the wall, and eventually those niggles are going to turn into a serious issue as we go deeper into this race.
Yeah, and it's about the brake bias as well, because brake bias is a lot different to last year's games where you can run it in 50 most tracks, but around F123, you have to, there were some tracks where you have to turn on the fly. At Speed Knighton had a massive spin. And like that, he went deep on the brakes again, and we got a VSC. Now, I'm not a good person when it comes to brake bias. I usually like to keep it the same. I can't remember myself what the best brake bias is around here, but I think around this track, I know some drivers in real life say that they need to adjust their brake bias on the fly on a lap. And if they can't do that, that's probably when these guys are struggling. As Speed Knighton damaged the front wing. Shadow. Drive-free penalty, speeding on the VSC. So mistakes cropping in for the drivers.
Jinx is around.
Jinx is round as well, who gained up a lot of position in the opening lap. We're starting to see more mistakes as another... Oh, 2 drive-throughs. Now, what happens there with 2 drive-throughs? Does he have to serve both of them?
I would assume so, but...
oh, no.
I think he has to serve 1 now, and then we'll have to see what happens. As Igglebox gets back through on Tony for P2. Casper into the pit lane nice and early, so... Maybe that little niggle with the wall did cause wing damage. We'll see if there's a front wing there waiting for the McLaren driver. And
yes.
There is. So, yeah, front wing damage on that little niggle off the wall.
That was a shame. He was doing really well, but still a long way to go in this Grand Prix. And I know Casper won't be giving up hope. But that allows the likes of the AlphaTauri driver to close in on the Mercedes pairing. Glock has a 1.2 second gap on Tony. So, Tony Softs, like I was saying, is starting to die a little bit. The optimum pace is fading for him. And Shadow, unsurprisingly, has retired from the session where he's got 2 drive-throughs. And I don't think he would want to be going out at the back of the field for the rest of this race. But who knows? There could be safety cars, so we could have stayed. Oh, Leroy's round! Leroy's round on turn 2.
And Knighton.
And Knighton as well, same corner.
What has gone on there?
I'm not sure. I only caught the aftermath of that, mate, but I think they might have made contact, but I'm not entirely sure about that one. It's hard to judge because I only caught the aftermath of it. The camera angles didn't catch it at a nice angle, to be fair. Kind of wish we had a choice to change camera angles on the fly, but we can't do that in spectator mode.
Maybe next game.
Yes, maybe next game. Cody's, if you're watching, as Ewan is out as well. Now, safety car.
Safety car.
Now, Shadow. If you would have stayed out, you would have probably gained from it. But no. No. So, Tony comes in to get his softs off and possibly go on to accept the hard tyres. Icklebox, sorry. Oh, I was getting his name wrong. Now, that screwed the ones on the hard tyres already. So, he's going to go on to mediums. Probably do a double medium stint. Same with Matter as well. Casper, that's brought Casper back into contention. He's probably will leave that safety car as called out. So, I told I told you that even if you get front wing damage, there's still a chance for you to come back a little bit. So, Tony, Ickleblox and Matt are all gone for mediums. Jinx on hards. Flexi has stayed out. What happened to Glock there? Because I swear Glock was in the lead. No, Glock was in the lead at one point. And now Flexi is. Ah! Front wing. His front wing's gone. If you go on with... So,
that happened.
Welcome to Baku, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Baku. Welcome back, Baku. Yeah. So, yeah, we didn't see that. I think he lost on his own. But, yes, we're already down 2 drivers and we're only on lap 5. Hopefully, this will be the last safety car that we see today. But if we do see any more, I do have some statistics planned. I need to get some more VSL statistics, by the way. But I don't have many. So if I can get, like, standings from, like, the last 6 or 7 seasons, that will be amazing. And I could just get a full, like, stats guide of all the drivers still in this and, like, what their best and worst results are. That would be quite nice. But this safety car brings Speed Knighton, Leroy, Kieran, even Gav back into play as well. It brings everyone back into play. The one thing this is good for is the likes of Jinx, Casper and Gareth. If they wanted to, I know it could be a brave call. They've done their mandatory. They're on the hardest tire. They could get to the end, but I doubt it. You never know, though.
They should be able to get the end on the hards from here. It's going to be a case of, will they have enough pace to keep with these guys on the mediums early on, and then will they be able to have enough pace on their hards at the end to hold them off? But they should be okay to get to the end, nonetheless, as Glock comes in to obviously repair that front wing, chuck on a fresh set of tyres, and it'll probably be the hard compounds there for Glock going on. I am going to point out, though, that what's called my early prediction for 2 VSCs in the safety car, I'm still on for it.
Yes, we had 1 VSC. So you're hoping we're not going to get any more VSCs, right?
I said 2 VSCs.
Oh, I swear you said 1.
Nah, I said 2.
All right, you said 2. All right. But yes, so I just predicted 3 safety cars. I didn't bother about VSCs because I don't know how that works. But yeah, I'm losing on the prediction so far then because I haven't predicted any VSCs. So, but anyway, Glock then is now going to try and catch up to the field. And heating their tyres is going to be even more critical as well. So I've had word, by the way, from the drivers that there's going to be no rain. And when I saw that message earlier on, I was quite relieved about that. Because rain at Baku always causes a bit of drama. And we don't want that to ruin the fun around here. So, yeah, no rain around it. Which means pretty much 20 or so laps of dry running coming up. Safety car should be in, I think, this lap or next lap. I don't think it'll take that long for Speed Knighton to catch up to the field. So, and then we could get going, luckily. Safety car restarts around here. I always find quite interesting because there's some drivers that get it wrong. Quite a lot of drivers. But there's some drivers can make great moves and make it stick.
Well, we're going to see if the safety car is going to come in at the end of this lap now, as Knighton is closing up to the back of the pack, so we should see the alert come through saying safety car is in, and there it is. So now Flexi will control the pace and back up the pack, and if you're Tony and Nickelbox, how crucial is this restart going to be for the pair of them? Because obviously it's a long run all the way down in towards turn number 1. And if you go a little bit too early, you can get alongside, but if you overtake, you have to land back through.
Yeah, I think with the fresher tyres, they've got to get past ASAP. Flexi, the only driver to have stayed out, everybody else has boxed. Well, Glock had no choice in the matter because he had front wing damage, but that might be a blessing in disguise for the Mercedes driver. Flexi can't go too early because otherwise all the drivers will get a massive tow. but we are green flag racing here at
Jinx.
Baku as Jinx tries to go side by side with Mata. Mata shuts the door very nicely indeed. Yaham tries to set it on Casper. Can he make it stick heading towards turn 2 and 3? Yes, he does.
Back.
Just about avoids the wall there, which was quite close. Tony gets the lead, but Flex is going to try and cover him off. To the right-hand side, we've got Lickle Blocks to the left as well in towards turn 4. How they got away unscathed.
Jasper and Yaham side by side for turn 3 and 4 now. Contact between the pair of them, but fortunately, neither of them get tagged around by it, which is fantastic.
That is absolutely amazing from those pairing that they just could keep it on the wall like that as well. But yeah, we'll look at position changes once more, but they're all so tightly packed together as well. Flexi started his safety car restart in P1, and with the tyres not operating at the best window, he's down into P3, and Matters right on the back of him too. So maybe he should have stayed out. No, maybe should have come into the pits. Here comes Matter through 13 and 14. Now headed towards the turn 15 downhill section. And he keeps that position. Anyone else close at the moment? There's Jinx. Nicely done on the exit turn 16. Knighton's round and he's out the race. Safety car.
Safety car.
So there we go. We didn't get, I think, did we only get 1 lap of racing then? Or was it?
I don't think we got a lap. I think we got like 3/4 of a lap.
Oh yeah, we did, didn't we? So there we go. We only got 3/4 of a lap, which was better than nothing. But yes, Speed Knighton was round. And that means everybody that's still in this race will get points, because top 12 at VSL do score points. Now, that brings everybody back into contention. If they have a step hard to... Matt has got front wing damage. Now, where did he get that? That's my question. I will try and find that answer soon. But Flexi, unsurprisingly, goes on to hards. Quite a lot of people being forced onto strategies they do not want to make. And I'm a bit shocked as to why some people have gone on fresh mediums now. I don't think they'll get to the end from here, but if they do, fair play.
Well, it's an interesting one. I think everyone is thinking, right, I just want to be on the quickest tyre possible. As Leroy picks up a 5-second time penalty for crossing the pit lane exit white line.
That is huge for Leroy. He's down in last anyway, but he's done it so many times that the game gave him a penalty. You're only allowed to do it once on the game as well. I have found out what was wrong with Ewan as well. We put it in our tier 1 chat, and it was all about the braking. He broke light because there was people ahead, and the thing that was troubling him was the rears. It locked up like crazy. And he downshifted later, and again, rears locked. So, yeah, apparently, he thought that the game's handling was inconsistent. So there we go. That was what happened to you, and the rears kept locking, and it locked too much that he retired. So that was his race done. So, shame for him, shame for Knighton, and shame for Shadow as well. I didn't see what caused Knighton's crash, but we know what happened to the other two. So we'll find out from Pete in just a few moments, but... pretty much, I think the guys near the back, I think, were repairing front wings anyway. I know Leroy and Mata were. Kieran might have as well, but I'm not entirely sure. So, I think it's round 3, as it were, because we're going to be having a third start coming up. So that's going to be, I think, intense. Tony will now be controlling the restart, but this time, everyone else around him is going to be on the same, pretty much, duration of tyres. Apart from Yaham, who's on older tyres. So Tony's going to have a bit more of an advantage than Flexi did on the last few laps.
Well, another thing to also mention is that these guys that are on the hard tyres, Jinx, Casper and Glock, obviously another safety car really helps them out, because now their tyres won't be as bad as what they probably would be without these safety cars at the end of this race. So they might be a little bit more poised to take podiums between the 3 of them.
Yes, and I think that is with any situation. If you're on a tyre that you think doesn't get to the end, and if you get loads of safety cars, it just really solidifies that length, as it were, in terms of the tyres. and you can definitely get it to the end there because you're not really pushing that much on those Seb tyres anyway. Yes, it lasts 18 laps, it lasts most of the race, but optimally it can only last 16, but with a safety car it increases that optimal pace as well. So we won't know when will be the best time for them to do the overtake because there's some drivers that may have like had to do some kind of quali style laps, which I do not recommend to get closing enough to the group. I'm a person that's like, if I know my tyres are not going to make it, I pretty much try and go as slow as the game allows, and then when it says catch up, I don't catch up. That's what I do in some leagues anyway, but not all leagues. I'm not allowed in some leagues. But yeah, safety car's about to come in. Hopefully.
For me, I'm usually the person that causes the safety car, so I never have that problem.
Well, I think when I first started league racing, yeah, I think there was a few times where I caused a safety car. I think there's only been a few times where I DNF'd. I don't think I've DNF'd at all yet, but probably Las Vegas on Sunday, maybe my first one. I can feel it. But anyway, safety car is going into the pit lane. Tony, again, like I was saying earlier, can't give the toe too early. If I was him, do not go now. Let's go on board with him in his restart then. As he weaves his tyres. Gets the tyres well heated up as well. There will be some drivers using the brake and the throttle at the same time. He's gone. And that's going to give Ickelblocks a huge advantage. He's going to get a massive turn as well. Let's go on board with him. But Tony's pulling away anyway. So it was down 4 tenths. Now I think it's going to be about 2 tenths as he heads towards turn 1. Nope, he hasn't gained that much. So Tony's restart, I think he timed that really well as Jinx almost had a bit of a wobble heading towards turn 2. And Casper almost took advantage of that as well. Everyone getting through, I think, this part of the track much better than the first restart that we saw, definitely. But no one making moves yet. I think there was someone, I think it was Matter, that dropped a second behind Flexi at one point. So I think he was struggling a little bit there at that restart.
Well, I did see something on the restart. I mean, Casper essentially went like perfectly with Tony and Nickelbox. Jinx got a little bit caught out, and Casper was essentially pushing Jinx across the line, but unable to make the move down at turn 1 because he had to back off, otherwise he would have overtaken the Haas driver, which was one thing that we did mention early on, as Ickelbox closing up to the back of Tony now for the race lead in this middle sector.
Yes, in the middle sector, like you were saying earlier, Mike, can make or break your lap and potentially make or break your overtake. So he's going to go through turn 15 now. Beautiful architecture, I think, around Baku, I have to say. And it is a city circuit after all. And there has been debates in real life on whether they should build more street circuits. Me personally, I don't think there should be any more street circuits, because there's some of them that are not a good race circuit. I do like Jeddah. I'm starting to grow on Jeddah, actually.
Here comes Ickelbox.
Here comes Ickelbox. He's going to go for the lead then to the left-hand side, using the slipstream to good measure then. And here he comes in towards turn 1. To the left-hand side he goes. Tony comes off to the right. Tony defends like a lion. And Tony is your race leader once again. Ickelblocks could not get past him, but we're going to ride on board with him once more as he makes his way through this back straight. Massa trying to get past Yarham as well, but the battle for the lead is what we're going to watch here, as Tony is ahead for now, but that was very close from Ickelblocks. Locks around again, and Gareth, Kieran and Leroy had to avoid that. Let's look at his car. Has he got damage, or did he get away with that? I think he got away with that ever so slightly. But his car doesn't look perfect. But you never know.
He just clipped the inside wall at turn 3, and that just was enough to send his car all the way around. And unfortunately for Glock, he's now at the back of the field, 6 seconds off Leroy in P10. And now we're starting to see the top 4 break away. Flexi currently in P5, 1.8 off the back of Casper. So we're starting to see gaps begin to form now in the mid pack.
I think we are. I think we're starting to see, I think, a lot of drivers heading into some rhythms now. They're getting used to it right now. And I think DRS should be activated this lap anyway as well. Because we've had almost 2 laps of green flag running. Hurrah, we're going to get some DRS soon. Whoop, whoop. But
Here comes Nickel Box again.
Nickel Blocks goes for another move, Dad. He's going to go to the same side. And I think Tony's going to cover off to the left once more. No, he does not challenge him.
This time Nickel Box had enough speed to get clean past Tony there, and Tony not wanting to risk sending one down the inside. Would rather wait for DRS right here on the run down in towards turn number 3, and this is going to be a simple overtake here for Tony. Up back into the race lead goes the Mercedes driver.
There we go, and Jinx almost got past Nickel Blocks as well on the inside, so that could have been a great move for him, and he could have, like, took advantage, but unfortunately he didn't take advantage there. So there we go. So pass in towards turn 4. Now I keep calling different turn numbers, so I do apologise about that one, but yeah. Heading towards the castle section now. Tony still leads. Casper is out of DRS, but he's gained it back on Jinx. Matter is well out of DRS range coming up through that. So I think a lot of these drivers are out of DRS range. So that's the line I like for obviously Leroy, Casper and Jinx to really gain quite a bit here. So let's watch Leroy through turn 14 and then ending towards, no, 13, now turn 14. Heading towards turn 15. But Garrett pulling away quite nicely, so he's still in 8th position. And don't forget, I believe Leroy still got that 5-second penalty. Or was it 3 seconds that he got? Let me have a look. Oh. It was 5 seconds. Okay, that's absolutely fine. We got a change for the lead. Tony almost got in there, but Nickel Blocks was like, nope, you're not having that lead, sunshine.
Yeah, and Casper didn't pick up DRS on Jinx, so Casper now is going to be getting the full weight. He hasn't got the ERS really to catch up either. Jinx in a precarious situation right now because he doesn't have the ERS either of the likes of Tony and Ickelbox here. I mean, the ERS management at the front too has been absolutely incredible so far.
It has. It really has. They've been... What has their ERS been like? Because I've got the telemetry disabled because I can have it disabled this time because I have a Coco. Woohoo! So...
essentially, both Ickelbox and Tony are sitting close to 80%, and you got Jinx on 20%, Casper on 15%.
I think as Jinx and Casper are doing their best to try and catch up to the pack, that they are just losing quite a lot of ERS, most likely. So I think if they want to manage it effectively, they've got to do a bit of saving. It's an ERS killer and a fuel killer, and we'll obviously keep an eye on the fuel as well. I think Jinx is doing okay on fuel currently as well, but I know Casper very well, and he tends to underfuel the car. But I always think, oh, can you get to the end by doing that? And he's like, yeah, I'll do that. We've had about 2 safety cars, so he would have saved enough anyway. I think he saved enough to go on to the... Yeah, he was on the minuses at the start of the Grand Prix. Now he's in the pluses, so there we go. He is a driver that I know saves fuel and he saves well. And looks like Tony's going for the lead, Mike.
Yep, DRS will help Tony now just pull clear Nickelbox, and now let's see if Jinx can close up enough to really challenge her. But a little bit too far back for Jinx currently in P3. Gets a little bit too much on the inside curve, a little bit of a back end stepping out. And you're seeing what the lack of DRS has done for Casper. He's now nearly 2 seconds off the back of the top 3.
Yeah, I think the top 3 is really, really broken away from the rest of the field, which is not what the likes of Casper and Matter and Flexi would want. Flexi a little bit further down anyway. I think he's struggling on those hard tyres. Him staying out in the first safety car period was not the ideal of situations currently. I think we just saw Yarham come in. Oh, as he just hits the wall there. Hopefully that's no damage for him, but if that's no damage for him, that should get to the end. Kieran's AI, by the way, is on softs. Not what he wants going into this, but I think that's Kieran's race done and dusted, it looks like, as well, because I don't think I would have gone onto the softs at this late stage of the race.
Nah, 12 more laps to go after this one. Yeah, way too much for the softs, in my opinion. I mean, I know they can marginally do it, but you don't want to take that risk.
You definitely do not, but we are going to be getting some more battles, I think, at the front. I can't remember what round it is for Ickle Blocks, but it's definitely more than round 2 or 3. Could be round 4, 5, 6 or 7, the way this is going. But the look at the speed and the slipstream he's gained on one straight alone, that's how powerful the DRS is. And it's a lovely drone shot as they make their way towards T1. And Ickle Blocks gets to the race lead. They've got to use, I think, the tactics effectively there. Oh, what happened there? It looked like he had a bit of lag there on my screen. And now he's in second. Oh, he's left the session. That's why. Oh, no. He was having a good battle as well. So Tony's got the lead. Jinx now's got to overtake the AI car of Ickle Blocks. That is gutting. Absolutely gutting. On his first race, he got pole. He was on the battle for the race win as well, and now he's going to drop like a stone.
Yep, as Mata goes through his car, and now Casper as well, falling down the order is Ickle Blocks, and I would assume that his AI will pit him like what happened with Kieran moments ago.
I think it's based on like the tyre length rather than the tyre life, so according to the game, the softs last 12 laps, so the AI could be like, you know what, I'll pit him for a set of softs. So he's probably going to come in for a set of softs, but yeah. But at the end of the day, if he comes back and if there's another safety car, he can have another fresh set of softs in his back pocket if he wanted to. But I doubt it at this point, unless he saved, I think, a set of softs in his back pocket. But it's Tony leads, Jinx in second. It's now Tony versus Jinx for the race win. Has won the final stretch right now of this race.
Oh, he's joined.
He's joined, and he said in the chat that his net died. So, yeah, he disconnected. I thought so.
Oh, can he get into his car, though? Because we're about to come up to the pit thing right now. Can he get into his car?
I don't think he's pitting.
Oh, Tony's pitting. No, he's going to pit.
Oh, no. Tony's pitting for softs, I think. No. Mediums.
Is Ickle Blocks' AI gonna do him over here and put him on salsa? Did he just manage to get back in time to make that switch onto mediums? Looks like he is gonna be medium tires for Ickle Blocks. So
he must have changed it in time.
Yeah, he must have just got back in the nick of time, but he's gonna come out and he will be just behind Yaham on the exit of the pit lane.
He was very, very lucky, because if he didn't get back in time, you know what? The AI would have put him on the soft compounder tyres. So, yeah, Kieran, unfortunately. Oh, he's left again.
He's gone again.
I was about to say, Kieran is not able to get back, and then Ickle Blocks take a better time. And now he's disconnected again. As Glock and Tony having a battle for P7. Oh, Tony spun, that's why. Oh!
Safety car. That's Casper. Casper in the casino. No, not casino.
Castle.
Bloody castle. The castle. A heartbreak for Casper here.
And Matt has left the session. Hopefully it's not me that's hosting the lobby. Boy, that would be a disaster.
Alright, so I am one VSC away from my prediction being completely accurate.
I don't want any more safety cars now.
VSC. It's VSC now. We've reached the limit.
That is a shame for Casper, because he was the former Euro Open Championship leader going into this, but we may have a new one at the moment.
Flexi.
Oh, Flexi! Hopefully Ickle Blocks can join soon. Now, what I'm going to do is, because he's the host of the lobby, he doesn't have an invite to the lobby, so... I'm gonna
send Ickle Blocks an invite.
No, Matter was the host, so.
Do you want me to send him an invite? That way, you can stay on there.
I can't get, but my PlayStation is having a bit of a mare now. There we go. Yeah, if you could send him an invite, that would be lovely. Pit stops.
Yeah.
Gluck, Gareth, Johan, they're all going on softs. I'm not really that surprised. Matt.
Error.
Oh, error. Okay. Should I try it? Let me try it.
Yeah, you're gonna risk it. I think an error code in there for me. That is the issue.
3 disconnects today. That is very
Honestly,
odd.
I think there's only one thing to say, really, isn't it? It's well done, Baku.
Oh, God. It's not letting me invite anybody at this stage.
Have you got the same error code as me?
Yeah, it's just like loading. Oh, hold on. I'm going to go on down detector. I can't even go on Google. Google.com server IP address could not be found.
Casper saying in the chat he should have boxed the previous lap. Mistakes happen.
Ah. Well, I think we could have I can't even go on down detector. Well, downdetector.co.uk. Come on. Server address cannot be found. What? What is going on with the internet these days? It won't let me go on anything. Let me see if I could do it on my phone. I could do it on my phone. That's odd. But anyway, well, what's happened to Tony? Oh, Tony's dropping down a little bit. I think there's quite a few drivers that can't get back in now. PlayStation Network. Let's have a look. I can't even tell, to be honest. I don't even know. I don't even know at this point. I can't even respond to this point. Oh, look at Ickelblock's AI has pitted him.
And Gareth's out of the session as well.
How? Did he bin it? I think he must have.
Yeah, it looks like he's gone straight on at turn 1 from the looks of it.
I can't even get on Discord. Discord.
I've just had a look. And apparently everything is green on PlayStation Network.
Yeah. It might just be my cache, but I can't update my cache. Yeah, because I'm not sure if it's a servers issue. Apparently they got disconnected from other leagues as well. I am very confused. Very confused. Sorry we're talking about disconnections, but we're down to like 7 drivers now? No, 6? Because Kieran's disconnected. Ickelblocks is disconnected. Matt is disconnected. So yeah, we're down to 6 drivers. That's probably the record. Oh, this is going to be an interesting 6 laps. Oh my god.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's going to be, it's one of them ones now where Tony should be able to get away now from Jinx. He's on fresh mediums versus the worn hards. Obviously Matt is going to fall back for the field, so Johan will be able to get up there. Flexi has a drive-through penalty, so he's going to drop down the order. So that's a big boost for Leroy and obviously Glock in 6th and 7th currently. So it's a case of, can they overtake Tony now?
Now, with 6 drivers in this grid then, welcome back to the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Probably it's not going to be the most entertaining final 8 laps, but we'll try and make the best of a bad situation. As the ghosts are definitely not going to help there at the moment. As Jigs, by the way, pulls away from Mata. That's not going to help Johan at all. And they can start overtaking from now. So in towards turn number 1. Nicely does it from Johan. You can just see everyone trying to get past the ghost. Basically, if you're still in the lobby and haven't DC'd, you're going to get a good result. So they all make their way past the AI cars. Not much overtaking being done. Tony's dropped down massively to 9th. He's struggling.
Yeah. Tony. Did you say he dropped down to 9th?
Yeah, now he's dropped down to 8th.
He's in 2nd for me.
Oh. I think my lobby's glitched, I think.
Right, so let's go. Jinx is leading. You got Tony about 3 times behind. Johan's just picked up a 5-second time penalty, which he should be able to get.
So I think is it Jinx, Tony, Johan, Flexi, Leroy, Glock. And then it's Lickerbox, and then it's Matt and Lickerbox Kieran. So I think Tony's the only one out of position for me. That is weird. That is very weird. I think there's been some debates in the chat on whether we're going to have a half-point race. If I was the stewards, I would red flag this. Because there's been some lobby issues. 3 or 4 drivers disconnected out. I think it was 5. And we got Leroy, by the way, trying to get past Flex. I think Flex is doing this. Yes, it is. Flexi comes in. So Flexi's going to come on some fresh softs, it looks like. Red flag. Red flag, according to the league owner. We've got a red flag in VSL. And I think it may come to the fact that half points will be awarded. That's the first time I've experienced that. Not on the game, though. But yes, the decision was taken that due to the amount of disconnects, we are receiving a red flag. And hopefully my Discord hasn't died either. But yeah. Oh, now my Discord's died. Hang on. Hang on. Discord is not liking life at the moment. I think my internet's been having issues full stop, I think, currently at the moment. Hold on. So if I close it and reopen it. So apologies if I'm talking to myself here, but yeah, we will hopefully find out what is going on in terms of if there... I don't think there's much point continuing because we've only, I think 5 or 6 laps to go until the end of this race, and I just, to be honest, I just don't see the point. It would, I think, allow the likes of Casper to come back into this as well. But yeah, as soon as we find out more, but yeah, I can't even go on Discord to chat to Mike. So my Discord is playing up massively. It's fine on my phone, but on my computer, it's absolutely nightmare. So, okay then. So, drivers' results from lap 16. So, drivers will receive half points from your position on lap 16. So, we'll get the final results from lap 16. I think tier 2's still going on. By the looks of things, yes, it is. So, hang on a minute. Nope. So I think it was taken after the 3rd safety car as well. Hold on. If the stream decides to behave itself, I will get you the results at end of lap 16. Because I would do it on my computer, but it just won't do it. So yes, we won't be continuing anymore, which is a bit of a shame. I can't even get on Discord anyway, so I think it was a blessing in disguise anyway. So you can find the full results, by the way, on Discord and Twitter later on. That does mean, I believe, Jinx does win, if that's the case. I believe it will be Jinx that wins the race. I'm going to have to lead the session. But yes, thank you so much for watching. Apologies again about the lobby issues. I can't even get on Discord. I can't even get on anything on my computer at the moment. The only thing I can do is stream on OBS. So yes, we're going to wrap this up there. If you're liking the content up until lap 16, like this video and hit that subscribe button and hit that bell if you are new. Follow us on Twitter, that will be amazing, at VSL _F1. But yeah, we're not going to be carrying on. I won't be here next week. I'm on holiday, but you will join Mike and someone. We'll try and get someone, but if not, he'll be on his own. But there will be the Spanish Grand Prix for round number 9, and I'm sure you will be entertained, and you're probably sick of my voice. Anyway, joking. But yes, for myself, Jess, and Mike as well. Mike will speak to you next week, but I will see you for Portugal in a couple of weeks' time. But until now, take care, stay safe, and we will inform you of the results once we get to it. But yes, have a good evening, and bye-bye.